What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report. Matthew Peterson here, rocking my Christmas gift I got from my lovely mother, a beautiful Browns polo. I don't think it comes across as well on camera, though. I look more like a pumpkin on screen, not like the Browns orange, you know what I mean? But we have to do what we have to deal with here. So we've got a fun show laid out for all of you guys today. We're going to run through some interesting trade rumors as, let's be honest, it's off-season mode. When your team is eliminated from the postseason, you start looking ahead to next season, baby. So we're going to talk about some trades. Also, we got 25 free agents the Browns might sign or could sign or should sign. I've got my top 25 list as well with a mailbag at the end of the show. So all that good stuff coming your way. But as always, we love to get the audience involved. And I want to ask this question. This is the biggest question, I think, of the week right now. I've got a really strong opinion on it. Is New Year's Eve overrated? I think it is by 1,000 miles. If I was doing it, and we'll do it later, a holiday draft, I would let New Year's Eve be a UDFA. I think New Year's Eve is the most overrated holiday out there. Why people spend like money for tickets to reserve a spot in a bar or a club blows me out of the water. New Year's Eve, the most overrated holiday out there. And with that, we missed you last week, Patrick, or 2 weeks ago, but Patrick Seatman back behind the ones and twos. Patrick, come on board. Here we go.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back at the Dog Pound.
To be back.
Do you think New Year's Eve is overrated?
It's the most overrated holiday.
Yeah, it has to be.
It's probably the worst holiday.
I think it has to be the worst holiday. Absolutely. I'm so glad everyone is in agreement with me. Can all of society just agree it's overrated?
It's overrated.
It has to be.
And especially if you're talking about drinking holidays, give me St. Patrick's Day any day.
Oh, I would take so many holidays. I would take Flag Day over New Year's Eve. I've got so many flags, although I'm not allowed to hang them anymore in my apartment. Eric, let's see what the chat's saying. Browns are, I love how we're talking about something. I look at the chat, and the first thing I see is something completely unrelated. But Eric, Browns are over the 2023 salary cap by $20 million. How do they add free agents? They have to cut some guys to add some. I'm not quite sure where you're getting your numbers on that. Right now, they're in the plus of $3 million. But contracts, the salary cap, it's all a myth. You can move money around. What you can do is you can move money into signing bonuses, which thus opens up base salaries, which is going to lower your cap hits, and you have more money to spend. The only downside is when you do that, you need to get the owner's permission of, hey, is it okay if we give this player $8 million right now before they even play a snap this year? That can somewhat, rub owners the wrong way of, no, I don't want to pay players before they play at all this season. That's not how businesses work, right? That is the only kind of downside and reason why you don't see many, or not many teams, but sometimes it doesn't happen. Plus void years. You just add fake mythological years at the end of their contract, and it lowers their cap hit. We're going to get to more of your questions and whatnot in just a second. But today's live show is brought to you by Fetch. Fetch is a super easy to use and free app that lets you earn rewards on literally anything you buy. Scan any physical receipt or e-receipt, and you will earn points for your purchases. And the process only takes seconds. You don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it. So let me show you how simple it is. All you do is open up the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, and snap a photo of your receipt. Then hit submit. You'll see that confetti pop showing you that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. You can also click the e-receipt function to get rewarded for your Amazon purchases or other online shopping by syncing your email account. You can then redeem those points for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, or any of the hundreds of retailers and restaurants available. Fetch is available on iPhone and Android. Now use our link, chatsports.com/fetch, and enter promo code CHAT at sign up for 5,000 bonus points when you scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent of like getting a free $5 gift card just to download the app. It's a free app, and the 5,000 bonus points, they're not going to last forever. So make sure you get started right now. Chatsports.com/fetch. Enter promo code CHAT. I've got all that information for you all in the comments and the description of today's show. We do have a game this Sunday, believe it or not. It is Browns Commanders, so let me know. Wow, PC Patrick over here had to put Washington. We were too afraid to put the team name there?
We keep it. We keep it in line here.
Okay.
We're going to keep them in line.
Yeah, no
Don't
commie
worry.
slander here.
No
we got our
commie
first
slander.
super chat coming in from Josh Miller, but let me know who you got. I do think the Browns have a good chance of winning this game, especially with Carson Wentz starting at quarterback. I don't think with Carson Wentz starting at quarterback for any team, you should say they are a slam dunk to win. I look at it this way. Deshaun Watson versus Carson Wentz. Who you picking? Who you taking? I'm taking Watson. I'm taking Deshaun Watson. Joshua Miller, first super chat of the day. Love the polo you're rocking, Petey. Josh, it's really funny you mentioned that. So when I came into the office today wearing the polo, one of my coworkers, Jeffrey Cooperstein's like, new polo. I said, I got it for Christmas. And he goes, will the Browns fans notice you have a new polo? I said, I know for a fact Joshua Miller is going to say something about it immediately because he's been on Petey's polo patrol for quite some time. But who you got? Browns, Washington. Let me see. Alex Hartfield, who's your favorite player on the Browns? I'll open it up to all of you guys. For me, my favorite player on the Browns, you got to go off the mainstream. I love Donovan Peoples-Jones, and I also love Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I've got some affinity for the longer last names, it appears. But I think DPJ, if someone says their favorite player is DPJ, that guy fucks, right? You're like, this guy's not a passive Browns fan who just knows Watson and Garrett. Like, that's easy to give, right? You got to dig a little deeper. You got to go to the second level. That's where I love to get, like, jerseys and favorite player stuff from all the time. Njoku, Myles Garrett. Here we go. Browns by 7. Now, we do have some actual more meaningful football around the corner, and that is the college football playoff. And I believe there is a team from Columbus, Ohio that is playing it against Georgia, Nick Chubb's team, and he's been pretty low-key about it. But who do you think will win the CFP? Georgia, team up north, Ohio State, or TCU? Patrick, I'm gonna toss this your way. Would you take Georgia or the field right now?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Petey.
Georgia or the field?
I'd probably go Georgia.
They're really good. They are. I mean, here's the thing, though. They have shown. I mean, as a Tennessee guy, they gave us, an ass kicking this year. Let's be honest. But Mizzou made it. They were leading in the fourth quarter against Georgia. So I don't think they are untouchable, right? They haven't been that college football team of like an absolute dynasty this year that no one's even came close to a one-score game with them. But they are the best team. And if they do win it all, it's going to look back and go, yeah, why did we not see this coming a little bit earlier?
Yeah.
They're head and shoulders above other people, it feels like.
I think they're definitely the best roster, top to bottom. But hey, Ohio State, 53-man versus their 53-man.
Yeah.
I think they're just as talented.
I'm getting a lot of OHIOs in the chat from Ryan. I love it. Good to see you in the chat, Ryan. Alex, we'll see you later. Levi Mayfield. Nick H., I'm sorry, but why do we as Browns fans always pick one player like the QB when we haven't been beating any defenses? I don't really get the question. Am I misinterpreting it? Am I dumb? Maybe I'm dumb. I don't know. Tim Green, Michigan showed weaknesses on that left defense. I look at Michigan as they lost their best player, Blake Corum. And let's be honest, they kept it going just fine without him against Ohio State and into the Big Ten championship game. But we're not talking about beating Purdue. We're talking about winning a national championship. And you need to be firing on all cylinders to do so. And so without Blake Corum, I think Michigan is probably going to be a little bit out of their element. So this was a very popular story the last, 48, 72 hours on Brown's Twitter. All about Paul DePodesta. That's a fun last name. Micromanaging, right? Being the Geppetto to Kevin Stefanski and calling all the shots with analytics. And it ruffled some feathers. Should the Browns be so reliant on analytics? Yes or no? Here's what I'll say to the no people. I agree that, you shouldn't just go by the book for every single situation on the field. For example, I'm a big advocate for we need to stop looking into the Browns have a 73% chance to win if they go for it on 4th and 1 here. No, that's if you take all the NFL stats for all 32 NFL teams. I only care about how the Browns, that one team, are doing on this one particular game. So I do think sometimes people can get a little bit too drunk on analytics. But all in all, guys, it's been analytics geared for every single sport since Moneyball. I mean, if you're not believing in that, I don't know what game you've been watching. But we all don't have an issue when Kevin Stefanski in week 1 last year went for 2 in Kansas City. on the opening drive to go up 8-0. Where do you think that came from? That wasn't him just flipping a coin. That's analytics. And so if you've got a problem with that, I've got, some bad news for you. This is league-wide. I don't really get why this was a groundbreaking story. Now, if Paul DePodesta is literally writing out the plays for Kevin Stefanski, that's a separate story, I think. I think the two need to be separate. Because I'm not going to believe that Paul DePodesta is literally in the headset with Stefanski and Watson, and Stefanski says, we're going to do a power run to the right, and DePodesta comes in and goes, no, we're running this pass play. Now, I do believe there are meetings where DePodesta kind of goes, let's have this be our game plan. And as long as Stefanski still has final say, which the head coach should, I've got no real issue with it. Let's see what the chat's saying. Logan, no, because he thinks that we need no run stoppers and the linebackers are going to stop the run. It was interesting because Joe Woods today talked to the media and he said defensive tackles are not the reason why we're bad at the run. It's all on coaching, which give credit to Joe Woods for just, taking the blame, even if it's not 100% his fault. He did not put together an interior defensive line that consisted of 3 of the worst 4 defensive tackles in football with Elliott, Bryant, and Togiai. And then Winfrey's just a rookie, so it's hard to evaluate him much. But I think defensive tackles are a bigger problem for this team than maybe analytics are giving it credit for. Come down to earth a little, Matthew. Coming up on today's show, the latest news and rumors, as always, our Bernie heads. Plus, we're going to look at top 25 free agents for the Browns. So, 25 guys, 5 at the 5 biggest positions of need. And as always, we wrap up our show with a live Q&A. You can get on that Q&A just by using hashtag Browns in the live chat. Or if you super chat, Joshua Miller, the first and only super chatter of the day so far. If you've got a question, you want to join Josh in that super chat status. We got a fun super chat menu. I did sneakily put that in there, by the way. Yeah, I pulled a fast one on Patrick. We've got our MVP list right here, right? The legends of the channel, if you will. $46, we add you to this list right here. And then we got the Dog Bowl, $2 super chat. You can ask me anything. $10, we break out the Fireball. And then $40 is something that we pride ourselves here at the Cleveland Browns Report. That is beer shotgun races between producer Patrick and I. It's about 500 through 2 months of doing this now. 3 months almost. What do you say?
I feel like maybe you have me by a game.
I think I've got you by a game, but it's very close still.
And shout out to Ryan. Mm-hmm. Don't worry. The Vikes will come through for you, Ryan. Your NFC team. Also Petey's NFC team. So.
Yeah, no. Apocalypse, good to see you in the chat. Josh Dobbs starting. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Shame on me for bearing the lead. Hey, there were a lot of people who wanted Josh Dobbs to start over Jacoby Brissett during different points of the season. For once and for all, this might get settled, and we'll see how Josh Dobbs does. Now, it's not really fair to Dobbs because he's not playing with Derek Henry. The Titans are resting everyone else, so if he sucks, I don't think it's fair to say Josh Dobbs sucks. I want to see Dobbs have an awesome game, no doubt about it. But if not, don't, take that and run a mile with it. So with that being said, thank you, yeah. Are we ready to blast off and start today's show? All right, we are going to jump into the latest news and rumors on the Browns. Some interesting trade rumors out there, so that's going to definitely draw some eyeballs in. Patrick, whenever I've got the thumbs up from you, let's do this thing. Okay, let's talk about the latest Cleveland Browns news and rumors. What's going on, Browns fans? Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, recapping the latest on your Cleveland Browns, the latest news, the latest rumors, all that good stuff going into Week 17. So we've got some fun trade rumors to hit on during today's show, but let's be honest. This season may feel like it is sort of lost or over once you're eliminated from the playoffs, but I'm playing for one thing for sure, and that's not beating Washington necessarily. That is this right here. Week 18 from Acrisure Field, or whatever it's called now in Pittsburgh. And here at Chat Sports, we've got numerous NFL channels. I, the host of the Browns Report, Matthew Peterson, would love to not only beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on the field in Week 18, but I want to beat Steelers Talk, hosted by Jack Sperry. in subscribers. So we've got a little bit of ground to make up right now. We've made a lot of progress this season. At one point, the Browns Report was behind by 9,000 subscribers. Now it's been close to about 3,000. So if you've not subscribed and you hate the Pittsburgh Steelers, join the channel today. So let's jump into some of our Browns rumors today. First one here, Davante Adams. Could he get traded to the Browns? I'm giving this just one Bernie head, right? It's not quite fake news, more so because I think Davante Adams could get traded. Not necessarily to Cleveland, but I just want that to be on your radar that Davante Adams might be on the way out of Vegas after just one season because his best friend, Derek Carr, just got benched, and he's not too excited about it. So, might we see Davante Adams come into the land? No, probably not. I can almost say more than probably. Almost definitely not. But we also were told Deshaun Watson wouldn't come to Cleveland. So, as long as that is a possibility, I'm not going to rule anything out after last offseason, right? Davante Adams was pretty non-committal about his future in Vegas, and Adams with a Raiders team that might be rebuilding could be on the trading block. Listen, after Derek Carr was benched, or the news of him being benched, here's what Davante Adams said to the media. Obviously, I don't think anybody was excited about it in here. You know him being one of my really good friends and the reason why I came here in the first place. I wouldn't be here right now if he wasn't here. I think everybody knows how I feel about him. And with that said, obviously, I support my guy. So Davante Adams, I think, is definitely open to options right now because with a benching of Derek Carr, then it really feels like Derek Carr's time in Vegas is done. And if that's the case, then does Davante Adams want to hang around there? I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. And maybe he becomes available on the trade market. So maybe the Browns, who are in need of a wide receiver, they reach out. Probably, they may reach out, but I don't think they're going to get much of a response. Davante Adams this year has quietly put together an amazing season. I mean, he is going to go over 100 receptions, over 1,300 yards, and probably over 13 touchdowns. It feels like maybe a bit of a down year for Adams because it just didn't involve a 1 seed in the NFC. Now, if Davante Adams were to be traded before June 1st, which if he is traded, that's probably when it's going to be so a team can get draft capital for this upcoming draft, the dead cap hit is huge for Vegas. $31.4 million. The cap savings is negative 16. That's not a typo. So financially, it makes no sense. I really don't see a path for it happening other than the Raiders decide we want to tear it all down. Davante Adams doesn't want to be here anymore because of Derek Carr is out, which seems like a bit of an overreaction. I think Davante Adams will be happy to play for the Raiders next year, even without Derek Carr in a rebuilding season because he's making about $30 million. He gets to live in Las Vegas, and he's close to home in California, which was a big deal for him. But overall, financially, and just the lack of draft capital, I'm not sure if Davante Adams goes for a first-round pick. He's over 30. He's definitely better than a first-round receiver is going to be, most likely. But when you're that up in the age column and your contract is that big, maybe it's a second-rounder. All in all, it's virtually impossible. But I say virtually impossible because it's not a 0% chance. If it was a 0% chance, Deshaun Watson would beat the Falcons or the Saints right now. Just going to put that out there. All right, second rumor to hit on now. Greg Newsome for Jerry Jeudy, sort of a player-for-player swap. We got some fun trade rumors here. I'm going to give it just 2 Bernie heads. I don't think it's as low as Davante Adams. I think this one has a bit more of a probability of happening, but I don't think we should run with this to 3 or 4 Bernie heads. So this rumor, this sort of idea, if you will, comes from Jack Duffin, who's a great Twitter follower. If you haven't checked him out, putting out lots of great Browns content. And he pointed out some pretty compelling points of the Browns are pretty stacked at outside cornerback right now with the way Martin Emerson has played this season. Martin Emerson, Denzel Ward, A.J. Green, Thomas Graham, they're pretty good on the outside. And so then you start looking around going, well, where's Greg Newsome going to fit in? Because Newsome in the slot this year, I think we can all admit, just hasn't worked. So with that being said, maybe Greg Newsome is movable, just like Troy Hill last year. So if Newsome is not going to be your long-term slot corner, and you like Denzel Ward and Martin Emerson over him at the outside corner spot, then Newsome all of a sudden might be a piece you try to trade and flip and get some draft capital for, because you need some extra bullets in the chamber going into this offseason without a first-round pick. Now, Newsome this season, it's been up and down, right? I think we can all agree it was not a beautiful start on the inside for him. He's gotten better as the year progressed, and maybe that's encouraging for Stefanski and Barry to roll with that going into next season. Overall, PFF has him ranked 47th out of 121st. An overall grade of 66, which is just sort of okay. I mean, 47 out of 121, that's not what you want your first-round cornerback to be, especially in a position where he doesn't seem all that comfortable in. And he sort of vocalized that he is not thrilled about where he is right now. Newsome this season, the stats, they aren't luxurious. 37 tackles, 3 pass breakups, no interceptions, no forced fumbles. And on the other side of the equation, how about Jerry Jeudy? I haven't mentioned his name yet. Jerry Jeudy this year, 6 touchdowns, 663 yards. These are 2 players who, let's be honest, I wouldn't say have been disappointing first-round picks, but maybe a bit more on the underwhelming side. So if there were to be a player swap for Jeudy and Newsome, I think Cleveland would have to kick in some extra, party favors to make the deal go through. I bet Judy's, stock right now is a bit higher than Greg Newsome's. Newsome is not having a great year, and Jerry Jeudy, albeit not looking like a surefire wide receiver 1 from the first round, he's had some great moments. So I think in order for this trade to go down, if it were to, you'd have to have a late day 3 pick swap that benefits Denver by a little bit, and an extra 3rd rounder. Jerry Jeudy was getting some 2nd round attention by the trade deadline. Nowadays, he's gotten some ankle injuries flaring up, and you're tossing in Greg Newsome. That 2nd might fall to a 3rd. But what do you do this trade? Cleveland needs help at wide receiver. Sort of, right? They need a slot receiver. That's really what we're getting at here. When people say the Browns need a receiver, no one is saying that Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones aren't enough. What they're saying is they need someone else who does the slot role, right? Over the middle. Some speed element to add to this offense, because they don't have that in Anthony Schwartz on a consistent basis. So Jerry Jeudy could help you out in that department. Moving on here, story number 3. Ethan Posick. Is he returning in 2023? I'm going to give it 3 Bernie heads. We go 1, 2, 3, baby. I think that's the first ever on the show. I do think Ethan Posick may be, I do believe Ethan Posick is more likely than unlikely to return next season, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But today's show is brought to you by BetUS. Check out chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Browns125 and BetUS, our proud sportsbook partner today. They're going to give you a 125% deposit bonus. In kind of layman's terms, imagine if you ordered a pizza and the pizza guy comes with not 1, but 2 pizzas and an extra generous slice on top. There's no other sportsbook out there that's giving you this kind of action. So get started right now. You got to use this link with the promo code. So let's get back to our good friend Ethan Posick here. Cameron Justice tweeted out that Browns OC AVP said he thinks the team would like to keep Posick on the roster next season, noting how well he's played in the starting center role. And really quickly, hand up if you're with me and you were banging the drum, we need J.C. Tretter back when Nick Harris went down, because I don't trust Ethan Posick. Wow, was I wrong. All-time bad take by me. Ethan Posick this year has been one of the best centers in football, ranking 3rd out of 39. He missed some games with a knee injury. He came back last week. Hopefully he ends the year on a high note, because I'm sorry, Nick Harris. It's a shame we never got to really see the Nick Harris movie. But the way Ethan Posick played this year, how do you not keep him back, right? How do you not bring him back? Now, I'm not really sure what Posick is going to go for on the open market, as he's a free agent this year. What if the Browns offered him a 2-year contract worth $15 million, 7.5 average, $8 million guaranteed? I know those aren't big numbers, and maybe I'm underpricing him a little bit, but unless you're really a top 2 center, which this year he's a 3rd, but not all GMs look at PFF grades, there's a big drop-off in interior offensive line money, right? You love to put a lot of money in your tackles to protect your quarterback, and then a really, really good center, but the second-tier ones, they sometimes fall down a little bit. So I think $8 million guaranteed over 2 years may very well be in the cards for Ethan Posick. Before we let you guys go, as always, it is Petey's Doghouse after every single week. After losses, it's not a good doghouse to be in. And after the loss, on the leash is Kareem Hunt. What happened? What has happened to Kareem Hunt? I was a big fan of keep Hunt in Cleveland. Remember, I was the chairman of that. Nowadays, I'm looking back at myself going, if anyone called and offered you a 4th-round pick, I sure hope you took it. Backyard only is Kevin Stefanski. That's a dog that you trust, but not enough to go mingle with other dogs. And for Stefanski, listen, I know he's getting a lot of flack right now, and maybe some of it isn't all on him. But at the end of the day, in the 4th quarter, when you pass it on 3rd and 4th short situations, you got too cute with it and you overthought it. And in the doghouse, I'm going to put the media in the doghouse. Am I part of the media? Maybe. I'm putting the media in the doghouse because way too many big J's and blue check marks on Twitter right now are just looking at Deshaun Watson's stats and going, oh my goodness, the Browns or the Broncos, what another horrible trade. Tell me you didn't watch a single snap by Deshaun Watson without telling me that. Because if you have watched Deshaun Watson play, you have seen week in and week out, he has gotten better and better. He has shaken some rust off, which was all expected. And the drops are not on him. Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and David Njoku, all 3 players with very unfortunate drops against the Saints. Listen, if you have not watched a snap of Cleveland Browns football with Watson, that's fine. Just say so, Dov. But don't go out there tweeting box scores of 15 for 31 saying, Watson sucks. The Browns have made a huge mistake. No, Watson has been getting better every single week, and he has made some incredible plays. And those people are going to be getting some old takes exposed next season. But I'll let you guys have the floor here. Kind of the last question of the show. Are you concerned about Deshaun Watson? Yes or no? I am not. I am not whatsoever. He has made some incredible throws. He has definitely had some cobwebs to shake off, but he has gotten better by the week. I am not concerned about this trade, what they gave up for him. They needed a superstar quarterback, and they got one. Let me know. Are you concerned? I'm seeing a lot of no's. Good, good, good. Levi, Tyman, Wesley, John, Sky, Tim Green, Brandon, James. We're talking about Hunt's talent was wasted by Stefanski. Listen, there's talent, and then there's, right, what coaching can do for you by scheming things up for you and whatnot, right? Putting you in spots where you thrive more. Kareem Hunt had 7 carries for 8 yards. At a certain point, it's a little bit on the running back for not hitting the hole hard or finding open space and making good cuts. I'm not saying it's 100% on Kareem Hunt this year, but Kareem Hunt, unfortunately, has been a disappointment this season. That's just the truth. That's just the way it is right now. Shaylin is not. Good to see that, Shaylin. Michael Warnecki with a $1 super. Lil Beam, Matthew, how do you feel about Dobbs starting for the Titans tonight? I'm really excited for Dobbs. I think I didn't mention that to start. I would love to see Josh Dobbs have a phenomenal start tonight and play well enough where he gets some backup quarterback money next year. Because that tends to be how backups stay in the league. When you get your opportunity, whether it's one game, one half, or 2 games, you have to make the most of it because that's the only thing GMs have to work off of, really. So hopefully Dobbs, despite not having a good cast and crew around him, can play well enough tonight where he can get another backup gig next year because he's a really good guy. Went to a prestigious university, one of the brightest minds in football, and it all starts from his collegiate roots, I believe. So with that, I hope Josh Dobbs knocks it out of the park tonight for the Titans. $1 super chat from Michael Warnecki. Michael, thank you so much, man. For you, we're cracking open the first beer. As you know, Thursday is sort of Patrick and I's Friday because we usually get Friday and Saturday off. It's a little bit messy with the holidays right now. But I'm off the next 2 days. I'm going to Miami tomorrow morning for the Orange Bowl. I look like an orange right now. For Tennessee Clemson. So, Brown Tiger, if you're in the chat, better show yourself. Michael, cheers to you and Josh. Thank you so much for the super chats. Cowboys are still going to win, sadly. Yeah, Tennessee has gotten... the Titans are going all in on the Jags next week. They're shutting everyone down for this week here. Michael Warnecki, like and sub for a Browns victory. Hey, we got 175 people watching right now, but just 35 likes. Can we get to 50 likes? Hit that thumbs up icon if you have not already. 63, I just applied to Clemson. Patrick, really quickly on the spot right now, if you could redo college, what 3 colleges would you apply to? You went to Xavier, go Musketeers. Yes. Looking back at it, if you could pick 3 different schools to apply to, what would you pick?
Like, that I had a chance to get into, or realistic?
Yeah. You can't say Harvard.
Yeah. University of Minnesota.
Yeah.
That is one of them I kind of regret. Honestly, Michigan.
Okay, yep.
I didn't apply to Michigan.
You're going to get a lot of blowback from that in this chat right
know.
now. Alexander with a super. Give me the last one.
I'm thinking a Cali school.
I would not want to do that.
I would not have gotten into UCLA, but
I have no interest in. I'm sorry if you're from California. I have no interest in going to school in California.
I don't know. What about you?
I went to Tennessee. If that wasn't obvious, my Josh Dobbs rant. If I could redo, I like TCU. My brother went there, so that was kind of a big pro. TCU. Other schools I would have looked at a bit better. I think TCU. I don't know. Iowa is kind of cool. Good
Iowa's
party
cool.
School. Good fun time there. And what about? I'm drawing a blank here. Nothing. Really. I hate Mizzou.
No, not Mizzou.
My family's big Purdue, but I wouldn't have gone to Purdue. Not Illinois. Not Georgia.
Michigan State, Iowa State.
I'll go Big J Syracuse.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, enough about us. Alexander with a super chat. Alexander, I am going to the Browns-Commanders game. That's awesome, man. I'm so excited. Do you want to see more Watson or Chubb this week? I want a breakout Watson game. What I want to see is that the offense ends on a high note, and we don't have to spend a whole offseason questioning whether or not Kevin Stefanski is the right coach for Deshaun Watson. I want to see these two guys mesh. And all 3. I want to see Watson, Chubb, and Stefanski put together a great offense. So for that, I think I have to go with Deshaun Watson. I just really tired of the blue check marks on Twitter acting like Watson has sucked so far, when that has just been categorically false. Josh Miller, I do owe him a dog bowl for that. Dobbs is pulling a Baker tonight. It is so funny to me, the people that have watched Baker at the Rams and are saying, see, this is what I was talking about. Like, Baker is awesome. This is the Baker experience, right? The up and downs, the inconsistency. Great one week, not good the next week. So I hope Dobbs pulls a Baker on Christmas Day or a Baker against the Raiders on Thursday night, but Baker is still Baker. He's a little bit inconsistent, and he's going to be a backup next year. All right, dog bowl for my new friend Alex. And Josh, thank you for the super chat. Here we go.
See the OSU's getting going from Ryan and Time in the Buckeye right now in the chat.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Ryan and Time, man, we're going back and forth here. We're going to jump into some free agent targets next up on the show. So if you've got a name you would like to see the Browns sign, you can super chat your way onto screen, and we'll discuss that player. But I've got 25 names I would like to see the Browns go out and sign. We're nearly 1 like away from 150. Once we get to 50 likes, we need one more person to like the video. We're going to start it. So I think Ryan and Time Man have gotten their point across about OSU. I think we can all agree on that now. Louisville for Michael Warnecki. It's fun to play like redo college. Once you know how other colleges are since you've been in college, what would you do? I don't know.
I think maybe I would throw Kentucky.
Oh, I don't know. See, because I'm in Tennessee, I hate all the other SEC schools now.
Yeah.
So I just can't envision myself. Auburn's fine, I think. I hate Florida.
Think of, cool merch.
Cool merch? Oh, that's half of the battle.
Like Kentucky would be cool.
Yep. 54 likes. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's jump into some free agent targets for the Browns this upcoming free agency pool. Whenever you're ready on the 1s and 2s, Seeps. All right, let's do it. Before we look at some free agent targets for the Browns, how about this question to start the show? Who will win the college football playoff? Let me know in the comments section below who you got winning at the end, in LA next month in January. Sound off down below. Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report. I don't know who that guy was before the intro because that was broken English at best. But on today's show, we're going to check out some 2023 free agency targets for the Browns and for this guy right here, Andrew Berry, to open up someone else's checkbook and start writing checks because the Browns, I don't think, are going to be huge players in this upcoming free agency period. But I do think they've got some money to spend and they do need to make some improvements. So, the Browns offseason right now, they are currently slated to only have $3.6 million in cap space. You might see that number and decide, I'm leaving the video because they are not getting anyone. Good time to remind you, the cap is a bit of a myth. Contracts can be restructured, right? Deshaun Watson's money, which is taking up a lot of the cap space right now, can be moved into a signing bonus, right? Can be moved into workouts and stuff like that, which can lower the cap hit. So don't look at 3.6 and say, they can only spend that much. No, contracts can be restructured, void years can be added, players' contracts can be extended to generate more room. It happens every single year. With that being said, here are the Browns' biggest needs in my eyes. I really just wanted to put defensive tackle up 5 times, but producer Patrick decided to come up with 4 more. So, wide receiver, I suppose. Also defensive tackle. Safety is definitely one. Linebacker, just because the Browns don't have a ton of linebackers currently rostered for next year. And then defensive end. Clowney's done in Cleveland. Who's going to replace him? That's definitely a need for the Browns this offseason. I've got 5 for each of those positions in just a second. But hey, it is off-season mode pretty much here at the channel. So if you're looking for a Cleveland Browns YouTube channel to kind of keep you up to date on the latest Browns news and rumors this off-season, hit that sub button and subscribe today. Let's start the show off really by looking at the biggest need for the Browns, and that is defensive tackles. Here are 5 free agent defensive tackles in different sort of categories of, you've got the expensive ones, right? Hargrave, Deron Payne. You've got some cheaper ones like Shy Tuttle or Greg Gaines. And you got one that I think is under the radar, Tier Tart. So these are definitely 5 names to keep an eye on for. One guy I like a lot that's not on the list, but I still would like to discuss him for a second, is Denico Autry. He is not a free agent, so I've sort of broken the only rule of my title for this video. But Denico Autry is one of the most underrated players in the NFL. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and maybe the Titans, after losing their last 7 straight games, potentially decide we're going to be big-time sellers, we're trading Autry, we're tearing it all down. And if that's the case, or if they were to cut Autry because they want to save some money, the Browns should be big-time players. I am a huge fan of Denico Autry, and I would love to see him in Cleveland. If not Autry, what about someone like Deron Payne, right? The 2023 defensive tackles for Cleveland, they're probably going to roll with 4 again, maybe 5. But if it's 4, I think one of them is going to be kind of a middle price, right? It's like when you look at Yelp and it's like, how many money signs does it have? 1, 2, 3, or 4? I bet they go 2, which Payne is probably a 3, but he might slip down to 2. You never know. And if that's the case, I don't think they're going to break the bank and sign the most expensive defensive tackle this offseason. So I got them going at the number 2 spot. Perrion Winfrey's coming back. A draft pick, most likely. It has to be. And then a cheaper free agent. Kind of like Taven Bryan this year. Just hopefully it's more like a Malik McDowell or Malik Jackson that's just a little bit better than Taven Bryan. Togiai and Jordan Elliott will come into camp, and I don't think they'll make the roster. They just have not played well enough to do so. So those are my kind of projected 4 defensive tackles for Cleveland next year. A complete revamp of the room outside of one player. Now wide receiver. The wide receiver free agency market this year is god-awful. Remember last year how fun it was? We were talking about Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson. The best name is Juju Smith-Schuster. That's really about it. Jacoby Myers, Paris Campbell, Zacchaeus from Atlanta. Mecole Hardman, I think, probably fits the mold the best for the Browns. The Browns don't need another big size receiver on the outside and the boundary. No, they need a speed demon to work out of the slot and sort of stretch the defense a little bit. Make the defense respect what Cleveland can do over the top. And that's where Mecole Hardman can be inserted. So if the Browns go the free agency route to find another wide receiver to complement Cooper and DPJ, I think they're going to go for a speed demon like Mecole Hardman. We got more free agents to look at in just a second, but today's Cleveland Browns report is brought to you by Fetch. Fetch is a super easy to use and free app that lets you earn rewards on literally anything you buy. Scan any physical receipt or e-receipt and you will earn points for your purchases, and the process only takes seconds. You don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it. So let me show you how simple it is. All you do is open up the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, and snap a photo of your receipt. Then hit submit and you'll see that confetti pop showing you that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. You can also click the e-receipt function to get rewarded for your Amazon purchases or other online shopping by syncing your email account. You can then redeem those points for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, or any of the hundreds of other retailers and restaurants available. Fetch is available on iPhone and Android, but you have to use our link, chatsports.com/fetch, and enter promo code CHAT at sign up for 5,000 bonus points. And when you do, they're going to give you basically a free $5 gift card just to get started. It's a completely free app, and those 5,000 bonus points, they're not going to be around forever. So get started right now, chatsports.com/fetch, enter promo code CHAT. That link is in the comments and the description of today's show. Moving on from wide receivers, safety free agent targets. Jessie Bates is the biggest name here. Jordan Poyer, a familiar face, of course. Jimmy Ward, Adrian Amos, and another familiar face, Jabril Peppers. But I want to focus in on two of these guys here, and that is Jessie Bates. Jessie Bates plays for a poverty franchise, that is the Cincinnati Bengals, that is shaking in their boots right now because they don't know how to handle giving out money to two really good players, Joe Burrow and Jessie Bates. They're definitely not going to lose Joe Burrow, so Jessie Bates and that poverty franchise as the Bengals that have to walk across a highway to their practice facility, they might let one of the best safeties in football walk. And could you imagine a Browns defense with Jessie Bates and an improving by week safety partner in Grant Delpit? That's going to be freaking awesome. Now, if, let's say, the Browns decide we don't want to spend top dollar for Jessie Bates, or if somehow by some stroke of, luck, the Bengals win the lottery and they decide to actually spend money for once, how about Jabril Peppers? One, he's not as old as you may think he is. I think he was just 27. Also, another thing for Jabril Peppers is, he was a part of the OBJ trade, and then when his last year at the Giants, he popped his Achilles, so a lot of people kind of just ruled him out. He's been really good for New England this year. So Jabril Peppers might be like a, return coming home fan favorite move if Andrew Berry strikes out with Jessie Bates and plans 2 and 3 sort of fall through. And Peppers is sitting there like, you know what? Why don't we bring Pep back? Because he was great. And if we could go back in time and undo the OBJ trade, I bet they would click that button. Another big element for the safety department on this team is whether or not John Johnson is on this roster. The Browns can save quite a bit of money if they were to move on from John Johnson. If they release him after June 1st, the dead cap hit in 2023 is just $3.7 million. Now in 2024, it's $9.7, but there's $8.8 million of cap savings. So that's a spot where the Browns could open up some money, kind of like Austin Hooper last year, if you recall. I don't expect Johnson to be on this team next year, to be honest with you guys. I think they're probably going to move on, save some money, and at worst, they're going to roll with Grant Delpit and DeAnthony Bell and a rookie from the draft as your safety room, along with some other cheap free agent. Let's look at linebackers now, because the Browns definitely need to add some volume to this room. The only players returning to the roster next year that are currently on the roster is J.O.K., Tony Fields, and Jacob Phillips. They're going to want 5, maybe even 6 linebackers. So we bring in Taki and Anthony Walker. I sure hope Taki comes back, although we're looking at 2 guys right there that are coming off really unfortunate knee injuries. Some other names to keep an eye on for, Rashaan Evans. He's been really solid with the Falcons this year. Alex Singleton with Denver is kind of a cheaper, under-the-radar name to watch out for if Cleveland decides to kind of go light at that department. Drew Tranquill from the Chargers, he's going to be a free agent, and he's going to get a decent amount of attention. He's had a really good season, especially at getting after the quarterback. So, with that, I would love to see some sort of reunion with Taki. Anthony Walker, I want to come back, but also it's been 2 years and both seasons have been sort of clouded with injuries. This season especially. But what do you think? Should the Browns re-sign Anthony Walker? Yes or no? I'm open to it for cheap, right? I don't want to see a lot of money go to Anthony Walker, and it's like, did we not learn our lesson? 2 straight seasons with injuries. When he went down in that Steelers game, we can see where the defense really started to fall off. So that could be a pretty good point that Anthony Walker brings into the office of Andrew Berry. Don't look at my stats. Look at your team's stats after I went down. You need me more than I need you. Now, let's talk about replacing Jadeveon Clowney. So, Jadeveon Clowney, I don't see him coming back. And with that, there's some other names out there. Dre'Mont Jones from Denver, Yannick Ngakoue, Zach Allen. I feel like anyone that's on the Cardinals defense that's not named Budda Baker, no one ever hears of because we just think of Cardinals, Kyler Murray, score a lot of points. Defense must be bad. Zach Allen, young, is having a really good year. Marcus Davenport for the Saints. He's always been derailed by injuries, but if he can find a new home and stay healthy, that's an alternative option as well. And then sort of a under-the-radar type of route from the 49ers. Samson Ebukam. Ebukam, there it is. All right, so I had to spit that one out. Ebukam is a really good rotational pass rusher, and let's say Cleveland decides we don't want to spend a lot of money. We kind of like what we have in Alex Wright and maybe even Chase Winovich a little bit. So we'll just go for a rotational opposite defensive end and not find a true close to every down starter. The guy I like the most here on the bunch is Dre'Mont Jones. Dre'Mont Jones is pretty young, 25 years old, and look what he's done the last 3 seasons. He's been very consistent. 6.5 sacks, 5.5 sacks, 6.5 sacks, and he's been doing that on a Broncos defense that doesn't have a Myles Garrett opposite him, right? Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, they both took turns getting hurt or getting traded. Dre'Mont Jones and Myles Garrett would form an elite pass rushing duo. And I know that Dre'Mont Jones may not be a household name, but you know who else wasn't a household name before they left Denver? Shaq Barrett was with the Broncos before he led the NFL in sacks with the Bucs. So just because you haven't heard of this guy necessarily just yet, don't just rule him out because he's not a first overall pick like Clowney. Now, who do you want the Browns to sign? Let me know in the comments section. We just ran through 25 names I think Cleveland could go out and get. Curious who you'd like to see the Browns go out and sign. Woo! We saw some super chats come in. We got some horny girls in the chat right now. Some bots here. I need a sip. I'm sorry, Margin Jammy. I hope I pronounced that correct, Margin. Who would be your next ideal, realistic defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator? Does AVP leave after this year? And who would you want at OC? All right, so basically what Margin, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you for the super chat. My realistic but also the balance of, ideal but balance of realistic special teams coordinator in DC. For DC, Jim Leonard's a fun name to talk about, but I don't know. If the Broncos, clean house and their DC, Ejiro Evero, comes to the market, that would be an amazing get right there for Cleveland. Some other names for defensive coordinator, the DB coach in Seattle. I'm blanking on his name. Carl Scott. He's a very popular name right now. So keep an eye on maybe some of those guys there. Special teams coordinator. I feel like special teams coordinators just come out of nowhere, right? No one knows the background of special teams. Special teams is an elite club to be a part of, but it's not an easy one to get into. So I don't have a good special teams up-and-coming coach. So I'm going to kind of cop out and say I got no one for you there. And then as for an AVP replacement, I don't think Alex Van Pelt is going to get canned. I think you might see some other coaching staff members get out of there. But an OC for Cleveland, if AVP does get moved on from. Patrick, you got someone that comes to mind? Trying to think of some popular young coordinators, right? Like QB coaches. Who you got?
The LSU guy.
Don't say Matt Canada.
No, Joe Brady.
Oh, Joe Brady.
Joe Brady,
yeah.
maybe.
I did not do my homework on potential OC replacements. I've done a lot of
if
energy
you-
on DC replacements.
Hold on, I'm blinking on his name, but hold on. I got a great one for you Browns fans.
Margin, thank you very much for the super chat. I owe you a dog ball. And then Tyler Becker with a $10 super.
Wes Phillips, keep that in mind.
Wes Phillips. These are the big buzz names you need to start remembering.
Wes Phillips.
Okay. I'm going to take my dog ball. You want to read Tyler Becker's super?
Got you. Sorry, you haven't seen me on the channel in a minute. Recently got a new job and have been paying more attention to the Cavs. Glad to see the channel still doing well, though. Go Cavs!
Yeah, Tyler, hope your new job is going well, man. Appreciate you coming back and just paying a little visit to the good old Cleveland Browns report. We're still kicking the tires and hanging around here. Tyler, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. We'll take a fireball shot for Tyler Becker returning. Tyler is, you know what I want? You know what I'm gonna do in the new year, by the way? For all the big super chatters, you know how Will Scott, our Dolphins host, sings songs for every big super chatter?
Yeah.
I'm not a musician by any means. I'm going to make Browns player comps for every single big super chatter.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What would the comparison be?
So Joshua Miller is Phil Dawson, right? He loves Cade York.
Yeah.
Phil Dawson, it makes sense there. Brown Tiger, I think, is like a Josh Cribbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, he may not have been the MVP or something, but he's everyone's favorite, and everyone loves him, and you recognize him in the grocery store. Tyler, shot for you. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Cannonball coming.
Speaking of the Brown Tiger,
Ooh. Yeah, I gotta turn the fan on. Can you read this for me? I'm
Yeah.
sweating like a dog right now.
Brown Tiger says, "Did you cover my super things last video?"
I must have missed it. I think I told Brown Tiger my biggest flaw is when I respond to comments or I see comments on my phone, it doesn't say super thanks.
Oh, really?
So, Brown Tiger, let me pull it up right now.
And also, I see Greasy Flight in the chat, a legend. Guys, we are extremely low on questions for the mailbag. The only person who's asked a question right now is Joshua Miller. So at the bottom, you see right there, use hashtag Browns. We got a mailbag coming up soon. Really helps me out, helps PD out.
Brown Tiger, I just see your super thanks right now. My bad. I'm really sorry. This is a very good question that I need to do a little bit more research on. So if it's okay with you, I'm not going to shelf it or anything. I'm not going to dismiss it. Let me just revisit it after the Orange Bowl when Tennessee beats Clemson. Is that okay? Otherwise, I would have had that whole section prepared for you, but I need to get a list of 5 or so names, and I just don't have that off the top of my head right now. I'm very sorry. Like I said, whenever I scroll through my phone for YouTube comments, it doesn't tell me the super thanks. And so then I sometimes just miss them by accident if I don't go back and check on my computer the next day. So that's my bad. I'm sorry, man. Thank you very much for the super thanks. We will go through some special teams coordinator replacements for Mike Prefer. Today is Thursday. We'll do it Monday after the game on Sunday. Is that fair? We cool there?
Mike Zimmer?
Mike Zimmer. I see we got Soul Train super chatting.
Hey, Greasy Flight, great question. Use hashtag Browns.
Yeah, use hashtag Browns on all your questions. Soul Train, along with a good DC, I need the D-line solidified. There are some free agent names we just talked about. Yeah, my biggest fear is Andrew Berry is still of the belief of the downfall of this team. The Achilles heel is not the defensive line, which, this Browns team is going to narrowly miss out on the playoffs. Why? Because they got gashed in the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Falcons game. Like, everyone wants to point to the Jets game, right? I get it. That's easy to do. And go, that is where the Browns missed the playoffs this year. What about the multiple games where it was simply the other team just ran the football through Cleveland's mouth and there was nothing the Browns could do? That has to be something where you go, we can live with the Jets fluke, but you know what's not a fluke? The Patriots, the Falcons, and the Chargers game where they got ran over. And those are 3 games that were very much in control for the Browns to win. That is where, when you went up 10-0 over the Chargers, you played a Patriots team that's not more talented than you. They just outcoached you because they knew your weakness, and that was running the football. And Cleveland had no response.
Petey, so Derron Payne.
Yeah.
I would not blank check Derron Payne to the Browns.
So I don't
he's
know
a
if
dog.
Cleveland has enough money for Dre'Mont Payne.
Yeah.
That is my hiccup. I mean, they don't have $70 million in cap space.
Yeah.
They can make cap space, but you can only make so much.
If you can make it work, though, Derron Payne might be number one on the list.
Yes, I
free
think
agent
Der'Mont
market.
Payne's probably going to sign like a 3-year, maybe a 4-year,
60?
$70 million contract.
He's going to get a big deal.
Yeah. Brown Tiger, $2. Also, Soul Train. Your tweets sometimes crack me up, brother. Brown Tiger, the fact that you think you're
Get
beating
him, Brown
my
Tiger.
Tigers.
Get him, Brown Tiger.
Oh, I don't know, man. I wish you were going to the game. That's a bummer. It would have been fun to throw back some beers with you and watch some good teams in orange play. But, yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm so confident I'm getting up at 6 a.m. tomorrow for my flight to Miami. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. Go Vols and let the better orange team win. We got to think of a bet, you and me, Brown Tiger. We got to think of some kind of bet for this. G-Money Uptown. They need to sign Will Fuller and Mecole Hardman for a deep threat, trade a second for Hopkins, wow, sign Payne in free agency, and draft all defensive run, more pistol for Chubb. G-Money
That's a Super Bowl.
Uptown. Should they also get Tom Brady to be the offensive coordinator? Like, this is a long list of demands. Let's go through one by one really quickly. The fact that Will Fuller went through the entire season and no one signed him
Red flag.
probably says where he's at in terms of the eyes of GM. So I'm going to kind of just move on from Will Fuller because he did. I mean, even T.Y. Hilton got a call this year.
That's a good point.
Mecole Hardman, yeah, I could work with that. You need an actual Anthony Schwartz, right? You need an actual speed demon that when they come on the field, the safeties go, hey, take a step back. So you need that. Trade a second for Hopkins. I think I would do that, right?
I would
Right?
do that.
I think you would.
Yes.
It's just, is Hopkins' best days behind him?
Yes, but
Is he still have good days ahead of him?
he could give you 3 really strong years.
If he can do that, then I'm in for it. The last thing I want to do is like, whoa, Hopkins, he's toast, dude.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe he used to play with Deshaun Watson, maybe
little
for like a
bit.
year.
Yeah, maybe.
Very minimal overlap. So that'd be a good connection, a good reconnection for them. And then sign Payne. Listen, you can't do Hopkins and Payne.
No,
You can't pay them both. So that is unfortunately where this tower falls apart. But I do love the optimism and the Madden in you, G-Money Uptown. So thank you very much. Another $2 super chat from G-Money Uptown saying, Brian Flores for DC/head coach. Hey, Brian Flores for DC, I'm all in. Like,
He knows ball.
I would have no qualms with that at all. Brian Flores would be an awesome hire for defensive coordinator. We talked about that on today's Thursday, on Tuesday's show, I think. So go back and look. Some really interesting stats there. Soul Train with a $5 super. I'm going to do one big dog bowl for all these in just a second. Great front seven. Offensive line and coaching has allowed the 49ers to be without needing the quarterback to be a star. I hope the Browns follow a similar blueprint. If the blueprint is get Kyle Shanahan as a coach, I agree.
Yeah.
Shanahan deserves a ton of credit, though. What he's done when people, kind of look at him and go, I don't know if he's the guy. 1 second. This fan is just blowing everywhere right now. Okay. What Kyle Shanahan has done has been remarkable, right? He has gone through his third-string quarterback onto Mr. Irrelevant, and he's got them arguably playing their best football the entire season. So, hey, if the Browns, they've got a good offensive line or O-line, get a good front seven, yeah, I don't mind that blueprint, but I also know the Niners feel that they can't win a Super Bowl with that blueprint. They can go far with it, but it has its limitations, and it's heroics in the postseason by a quarterback, where it was Jimmy Garoppolo versus Patrick Mahomes, and it was Garoppolo who overthrew Emmanuel Sanders. We got some more questions to get to here. Another super chat from the Brown Tiger. Let me do a big dog bowl for all these $5 supers that just came in. You want to read this one for me?
Yes. Brown Tiger saying the chemistry with Nuke Hopkins and DW4 is magical. That is a good point. Petey and I, we love the Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams back shoulder fade.
Yeah.
Hey.
It would be
D-Hop and
amazing.
Nuke,
I think if I had the button in front of me, I'm going to click yes. It's just Russell Wilson has put some fear into me of getting someone when they are not having. Hopkins has been good this year, but ooh, you don't want to give a second, and then it's like you're looking to get out of that deal after one season. That's like the only bit of fear I have.
That's a good
We got
point.
a $10 super chat coming in from G Money Uptown.
Let's go.
G Money Uptown. They played together for more. Sarcasm, buddy. I'm sorry. They played together for more than 1 year. I was a Watson Texans fan. Hopkins and Will Fuller is a Super Bowl. Will Fuller hasn't signed because he want to play with Watson, and they will sign him this offseason. Yes, that was sarcasm on Patrick and I's end.
Yes.
We know that Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins overlapped for more than just one season. I do think it also is worth noting out. I mean, it's not the same, but like, do you really want to rebuild the Texans roster that didn't win a Super Bowl?
True.
Is that a dumb take by me? Also,
No.
like, I don't know. You've already got Cooper and DPJ here. I don't think you need Hopkins and Will Fuller.
I mean,
That's a crowded room right
if
there.
you get Hopkins with DPJ and Cooper,
The issue is you have three receivers with very similar skill sets,
yeah,
right? Big outside receivers.
yep.
You have that in Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones. What you need is a slot guy, and that's not Hopkins. So that is where I'm like, Hopkins would still make this team better, but I think your money and your resources could be better spent at a slot receiver, and now you're checking all three boxes. That's my 2 cents on the matter.
I've seen a couple Scotty Miller come in.
Scotty Miller, G Money Uptown, thank you so much for the super chat, though. Goes a long way. We're going to get a shot of Fireball for you.
Shout out to G Money.
We're going to jump into a mailbag in just a second.
Get those questions
Greasy
in there, guys.
Flight likes the golf tee. Talking about my new Browns polo?
I think he is.
This is a golf t-shirt?
No, that's a polo.
It's a polo. It's a polo.
It's a polo. It's a polo.
All right. This one's for G Money Uptown. Cannonball. Cannonball coming.
That is one of those shirts, though. You could wear it golfing. You could very easily wear it.
Dude, I wear any shirt golfing.
Yeah.
I'm not on the tour.
I mean, I wear basketball
I have a
shorts.
like my dress code is just like nice pants or shorts depending on the weather and a polo. Like
Yeah,
a collar.
same here.
A collar. I don't care what kind of shirt it is. Soul Train, instead of trading Newsome for Judy, I would rather package Denzel Ward for Davante Adams.
Ho, ho, ho.
I mean, that's interesting. It's just, why do the Raiders do that?
They don't.
They don't. What do they gain? They trade one superstar for another superstar,
And plus, you bring on Devontae's
and they don't
contract.
need Denzel. Like they don't need an elite corner right now. They're not an elite corner away from being good.
And, or as Petey calls him, Tay. Tay's
No,
contract.
I think Tay is the worst nickname. Does anyone like the nickname Tay? It's not even a nickname.
It's not even in his name.
It would be like if I'm a Matthew. I don't go by Matt, and if you call me Matt but with one T, like
Yeah.
that's Tay in my eyes.
Yeah.
Matt.
Well, his contract, too, if you bring in Davante Adams, you can pretty much call it on signing anybody else.
Yes,
He's got a fat deal.
he does
So,
indeed. We've got a mailbag to get to. Hashtag Browns in the chat or super chat. And your question will get on screen. For all of you that have already super chatted a question, Patrick will include those into the mailbag, so do not fret. Whenever we're ready on the ones and twos, Mr. Seatman, give me the green light. All right, let's jump into a Cleveland Browns mailbag. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report mailbag time here on the show. I answer the questions that you guys asked during our live show every single Thursday at 4 Eastern. So tune in next week if you missed this week's. But we got some questions to answer from the chat and via super chat. So let's start with this first question coming in here from Margin Jammy. Okay. Who would be your next ideal, but in parentheses, realistic defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator? Does AVP leave after this year? And who would you want at OC? So we're looking for 3 replacements right there. I'll start with defensive coordinator because we put a lot of time and effort into Joe Woods' replacements. If Evero, which is the DC right now in Denver, becomes available because the next coach comes in, he brings his own cast and crew with him, and Evero's out the door for whatever reason, that would be the number one hire. I used to dream about Brandon Staley getting fired from the Chargers because they hired Sean Payton and then maybe hire Brandon Staley. But coming down to earth a little bit, there's some good DB coaches. The one in Seattle, Carl Scott, he's been getting a lot of attention lately, so that's definitely a name to keep an eye on for. Jim Leonard has also been getting some buzz and some attention. Evero is my ideal. Realistic, check back with me after the season once I know who's been fired. Special teams coordinator, hand up. I haven't done my research on Mike Prefer replacement, so I don't have a good name for you right at this moment for that, but I'll get back to you on that one. I don't think AVP is going anywhere, so I'm not really looking at AVP replacements either. Thank you for the super chat, though, Margin. Joshua Miller next up on the show. Trade D. Watts. No. I'm not going to finish reading this. Trade Deshaun Watson for David. No. Hard no. Moving on. Josh, I love you, but that's not one of your better takes. Tyler Becker, next one up. No, Brown Tiger. No, we got a couple questions to get to here. So let's start with, we want to go to the audience, hashtag Browns. Okay, so we got some questions coming in from the audience right now. We'll start with AFX Apocalypse. Do you think Scotty Miller could be your speedster? He would probably be cheap. Scotty Miller would definitely fill that mold and what I've talked about of, we've discussed maybe DeAndre Hopkins or something. This team is not a DeAndre Hopkins away from going over the top. They've got a DeAndre Hopkins type of wide receiver in Amari Cooper, right? A big body frame. They need a speedy slot guy, and that would be Scotty Miller. Mecole Hardman, I think, in realistic options, kind of fits that mold the best, and he's on the market. So if Mecole Hardman can come to Cleveland, that would be a really good signing, I believe. Darko Petrovic. How much money do the Browns free up if they restructure everyone that is eligible? I was reading something like $90 million. Is that right? So right now Cleveland has a little over $3 million in cap space. You can restructure Deshaun Watson's contract, right? Move a lot of this money into signing bonuses, and that would open up money. I believe I saw the number for Watson was $35 million. If you do the same for Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, you can get up there. What I'm not so sold on is if you're going to go into Jimmy Haslam's office and go, I know we've just lost and losing seasons the last 2 years, but we need more money to spend. And in order to do that, I'm going to need you to pay all these players more right now than later. That might be a tough sell for Andrew Berry. The cap is a myth. You can always move money around. You can always restructure contracts. I don't think they're going to get up to $90 million, but I could see them getting up to $35 or $40 million. Just a simple man. No chance of the Browns pursuing Sean Payton, right? I'm going to go with no chance. Yeah, I don't think it's a non-zero chance. I think there might be a tiny bit of a chance if the Browns shock us all and they fire Kevin Stefanski because they lose the last 2 games of the season, and Sean Payton wants to return to the NFL, and the Saints somehow sneak into the playoffs because Dennis Allen won the last couple of games, and for whatever reason, the Chargers and the Cowboys and maybe even the Broncos job doesn't land with Sean Payton because those coaches don't get fired or Denver goes a different direction. And I don't know. If all those things happen, that's quite amazing, quite a parlay. Cleveland with Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett would look like a very tempting job for Sean Payton. But I would not bet on it whatsoever. Levi Mayfield, what's going to happen with OBJ? OBJ is most likely going to sign somewhere this March. It looks like his physical was not maybe as good as he would have hoped it would have been. The Cowboys sort of leaked that, and all the teams sort of backed off the OBJ hype. I'm guessing he signed somewhere in March. Don't have a good idea of how many years it's going to be, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. I don't think it's going to be long-term. I don't think it's going to be a big splash money contract either. Thick Spoon YouTube. Do you think Vic Fangio is a realistic replacement for Joe Woods? Vic Fangio runs a 3-4 defense, so just kind of keep that in mind that the Browns defense right now with Myles Garrett is not really geared to him being more of an outside linebacker. Vic Fangio still is one of the best defensive coordinators in football the last 20 or so years. So, yeah, if Joe Woods is fired and Vic Fangio is hired, I'm not going to be losing sleep over it. I'll be very excited about it. I will be curious to see how he completely retools this defense that has been 4-3 for as long as I can remember right now. So, very interested to see if Vic Fangio came to Cleveland, how he would work with the Browns defense. But he would be a very good replacement. I have heard some buzz of him being tied to Sean Payton, though, and going wherever Sean Payton is hired. Listen, free agency, though, draft, news, rumors, all that offseason buzz and coverage, we do it best here at the channel. So subscribe if you have not already and hit that sub button. We got the next question coming in from Arena of Idea Racing. Should the Browns re-sign Hunt? No. Kareem Hunt has not been good this year. And that's a bummer. I really thought he would thrive with Deshaun Watson. I thought he would help move along this Browns offense with Jacoby Brissett. And it looks like Kareem Hunt is just becoming, unfortunately, like all running backs, not aging like a fine wine. Unfortunately, it's Father Time killing Kareem Hunt. AFX Apocalypse. Do you think Fletcher Cox would be a good pickup? I believe he will be a free agent. Yeah, Fletcher Cox from the Eagles will be a free agent, along with Javon Hargrave. Those are two older guys. And if we have learned anything from Andrew Berry, he does not like older free agents. Now, maybe that changes because his plan at defensive tackle did not work this year. So maybe he decides to go the opposite direction. Hey, if Fletcher Cox wants to come along for a cheap one-year deal and they sign him in August because no one else gave him any attention in March and he takes a vet minimum with a lot of incentives, sure, I'm all for it. Little Beam next up on the show. Between DeAndre Hopkins and Davante Adams, who would you rather come here? Ooh. Davante Adams, right? That's the right answer. Davante Adams is not having a spectacular year this year with the Raiders, and he's going to finish with over 100 receptions and 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. I say not having a fantastic year is a bit of sarcasm because Davante Adams is just that good, that his down years are better than most other people's great years. And I don't think you can even say he's having a down year. He's just not, making the big plays for the Packers down late on a 13-4 regular season. So I'm going to go Davante Adams. You're welcome to disagree. Let me know in the comments who you would rather have. Hayden Fink next up. Are these next two games must-wins for Stefanski to keep his job? It sounds like Stefanski is safe no matter what, right? Browns fans, Brown media, Browns Twitter might like to try and stir the pot a little bit and act like Stefanski's seat is a bit warmer than it really is. Mike Florio has said that his seat is warm to quite warm. All in all, I think the Browns are not moving on from Kevin Stefanski after 6 games with Deshaun Watson. He was a big part in landing Watson, and I just don't see them pulling the cord on him after just 6 short weeks. But what do you think? Does Stefanski need to win out to stay? If he were to drop these next 2 games, go into the offseason on a losing streak, kind of a bad taste in Jimmy and D. Haslam's mouth and Andrew Berry's too, does Stefanski get fired unexpectedly? No one saw Brian Flores getting fired last year for the most part, so these firings do happen once in a while. Lovie Smith for the Bears. I remember he got fired after a 10-6 season, so it's not a non-0% chance, but I don't think it's very likely. I got more questions of yours to answer in just a second, but today's sportsbook partner, BetUS, has an awesome deal for the Dog Pound. When you go to chatsports.com/bet and you enter promo code Browns125, when you do that, let's say you put $100 in, they're going to match that and give you an additional 25%. So that'd be $225 to play with. Make all of your picks, the NFL postseason, college football, NBA, NHL, Polish basketball, whatever it is. Make it at chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Browns125. Another question coming in from TRD. What would you rank each of these Browns rookies this season? Good question. Browns rookies this season. Martin Emerson is 1, 2, and 3. Sorry. Martin Emerson's number 1. I'm gonna go through all the rookies right now, right? You had Martin Emerson, you have Cade York, you have Perion Winfrey, you have Michael Woods, you have Jerome Ford, you have Dawson Deaton. He was a center. He got hurt in preseason. Those 5, and I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. I'm gonna curse myself out later. But Martin Emerson 1. Jerome Ford for kick returns, number 2. Michael Woods, number 3. Cade York, number 4, just because of week 1. And Perion Winfrey, 5. Winfrey's come along nicely lately, but the boneheaded stuff early in the season is a big bummer. So those I'm going to go with. Dawson Deaton, he got hurt. He was the center. Isaiah Thomas, silly me. That's the other guy from Oklahoma I'm forgetting. Isaiah Thomas, probably back. Oh my gosh, Alex Wright. Wow, I might lose my job. I completely forgot the second guy. Well, that rechanges things. I'm going to go Alex Wright in 3rd. So one more time. Martin Emerson, number 1. I'm going to go Jerome Ford 2. I'll go Alex Wright 3. I'll go Cade York 4, just because of that one field goal. 5 is Michael Woods, 6 is Perrion Winfrey, and 7 is Dawson Deaton. That sounds more right. All right. Appreciate the question, though. Sorry it took me a long time to answer. Marcus Smith, any chance we lose Garrett this year? You know, if you've noticed, I have not done a video about trade Myles Garrett because I really don't want to, but there have been one too many little blog boys who write about selling everything and trading Myles Garrett. Stop it and get some help. You are not trading Myles Garrett. I am a big believer of never say never in the NFL, but I will say no to this. Myles Garrett is not getting traded. If Myles Garrett gets traded, I'm bringing it back. I'm doing a polar plunge in Lake Erie. I am that confident. Last question coming in from the Brown Tiger. Likelihood of Brian Flores hired as Browns DC. How many Bernie heads? I wish I included Brian Flores in the earlier question of this mailbag about DC replacements for Joe Woods. I would love Brian Flores as a DC. Bernie heads? I'm going to go with just 2. I would go to 3 if I've heard even if I even saw one tweet of the Browns liking Brian Flores or just thinking Brian Flores is a funny guy or something like that. I've heard 0 buzz between the two, so I got to keep it at 2. I do think Joe Woods is fired, and I'm sure Brian Flores would be a very appealing candidate for the Browns. Now, we're going to have a watch party this Sunday for our Browns-Commanders game, so if you are tuning in for it, type me down in the comment section below. This is the end of the video. This is a great way for me to see who the real ones are at the channel, who watch the entire video all the way through. So type me if you've gotten to this point and you're tuning in for our Browns-Commanders watch party on Sunday. We welcome Patrick Seatman on.
My favorite time of the week.
It's Patrick's favorite time of the week.
All right, guys. You guys know how it goes.
See you, Sam.
See you, Sam. You guys know how it is.
I'm cracking a cold one open for free because it's that point of the show.
This is PD and I's Friday.
Yep.
This is our overtime. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you guys, though. We need you guys to keep us here, keep us going. If you send in a super chat, we can hang out here pretty much all night.
Yeah,
you guys,
absolutely.
You guys could legit keep us here
I have to
till
pick
midnight.
up my sister from the airport, which I would love to be able to miss because of this.
There you go.
I was about to say I had to go.
Yeah.
I know Charlotte's not watching this, so
Yeah.
I would love to. Like,
You gotta
I'm
stay
sorry.
with the dog pound.
Yeah, I gotta hang out with the dog pound. Gotta hang out with the dog pound. So we don't have any favorites because we've been doing really bad at this. But I did add some. Go to the bottom.
I see
added
'em
some,
here.
Yeah, some debate. Little draft season.
I like it.
We like it.
I love
we
it.
We can roll with it.
I love
so Patrick and I love doing drafts. That's what guys do.
It's just guys do.
Just what guys being dudes. We're drafting shit today. So the way it works is you're welcome to super chat whatever you like. If you super chat, say $2 or something like that, with your topic of a draft choice, we'll draft that topic.
And it's also a ton of fun because while Petey and I are drafting, also everybody in the chat, they'll start getting their kind of comments in. So if you guys send in a $2 super chat, give any topic. It could even be like one time we had it was like the color red, and we had to draft the top 5 things that have the color red. It could be very broad, sports related, whatever you want.
Whatever you want. This first one, I'm leaving it very broad, very vague.
Love
Holidays.
It. Love
Holidays. It's holiday season right now.
Love it.
So do you want the 1-1 or do you want to go me over first?
I'll take the 1-1.
Okay, it's a no. You can't miss it.
How many rounds are we doing?
4 rounds.
4 rounds?
4
okay.
rounds.
And we also do snake here.
Yep. Snake
Okay.
draft. You better get this right. I will hit the floor if you miss this 1-1.
Christmas.
Oh, thank
All
God.
right. I'll go Christmas.
That was
I'll
almost
go
like
Christmas.
a Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning situation right there.
I was thinking about giving you a heart attack.
Oh, we got some ones coming in here. Okay.
Let's go. We'll put this on pause.
Oh, we missed a super chat maybe. We'll put it on pause for a second.
G-Money.
G-Money Uptown Cheers.
We did.
Y'all missed my chats, Watson, about that DT from Florida. Wait, Patrick. You boning me?
That's on me,
Oh,
G-Money.
my gosh.
That's on me,
He's
G-Money.
on the 1s and 2s. He left me hanging. Oh, I love Josh's. That's the best one ever.
You guys got him coming. You guys got him coming today.
Yes.
Let's go. Oh,
Okay.
I love it, JD, too.
Okay.
One by one.
Is this the G-Money one that we missed?
I think we missed 2.
Oh, my gosh. Do we need to bring Trace back from 2 weeks ago?
No, we don't.
Which, by the way, we can all agree. was a bit of a disaster.
We got it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Okay, G-Money Uptown, I am sorry. Teams didn't have a defense the year they played Chiefs in playoffs. O'Brien, the reason they ain't win. Hopkins is tired of Kyler and put Cooper in the slot. Yeah, I mean,
I don't hate it.
I think maybe you're taking it a little bit too literal of what I'm saying. Of like, yeah, they're not recreating the Texans team for sure. Of course not. There's only 3 players overlapping. The defense is, well, I was about to say much better for Cleveland than Houston, but like, could it be that much better? The Browns' defense has been not good this year. So I think Will Fuller is likely done. But Hopkins for a second, that's intriguing. I'm not going to lie. Amari Cooper in the slot, that's not where he plays. No, we just tried Greg Newsome in the slot, and that didn't work out. So let's not force players into spots they don't work well in. I mean, I just don't think that's going to pay out well. G-Money Uptown, another super chat. Scotty Miller can't catch, and Cooper sucks. Cooper does not suck. Cooper had a bad game against the Saints in negative 30 degrees when that rock, the football was literally a rock, and it was very difficult playing conditions. Amari Cooper has been awesome this year, so I'm not going to stand for any Cooper slander. We got some draft topics to get into here.
Yeah, here it is.
The first one, holidays got quickly shut down.
Holidays, we'll have that in the back pocket.
Topic nails.
Like nail colors?
No, I think he means like nail you hammer in.
Oh, nails?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Greg, can you expand on that in the chat, please?
Yeah, Greg, are we talking fingernails? Are we talking?
I think it's any kind of nail.
Any type of nail?
Yeah, but I only know 2: fingernails and a hammer nail. We'll come back to this.
Yeah,
one.
we'll put this on pause for our man.
I want to do it right. Joshua Miller.
Oh no, he said here. We'll stay here.
Okay.
He said hammer nails. I don't know if I have enough.
Oh, I am no Bob the Builder.
I am no Bob the Builder either.
I only know of one nail, and that's just a nail.
Yeah.
We have not done
Greg.
justice.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Greg, I don't know many nails.
I feel awful.
I feel awful, too. We'll do a quick 3-round. Nails in general. Ready? All types of nails for Greg. I'll go the 1-1. Ready? You nailed that field goal. You nailed that field goal.
You nailed your significant other.
No, okay, that works. Stiffs. Commanders news and rumors.
Boom.
Commanders news and rumors has resurrected after being dormant for 18 months, has the audacity to come into the Cleveland Browns report by Chat Sports with yours truly to say y'all are stiffs.
Boo.
Boo. F Washington in the chat right now. My goodness gracious.
Oh, Ryan, another good one. All right, we got to fly through these.
Yeah. Joshua Miller, best NFL broadcast duo. I'm going to make this all time.
Okay.
Not just like right now.
I'm going to need to pull up a list.
Okay. Oh, I've got them all memorized. I love my duos. I'll go 1-1 if you want.
Yeah, you can go 1-1.
Okay. NFL broadcast duos. I've got one. You want me to kick it off, or let me know when you're in a good spot?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I got you.
It's Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth.
God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday Night Football with them, that's the best. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, that's the one. We have so many drafts. Let's do 3 rounds.
Okay. I hate seeing this. I have to go Joe Buck, Troy Aikman.
That's a good one.
No, I know. One. I'm not a fan of Joe Buck.
No, I like Joe Buck. He gets a lot of hate.
He does get a lot of hate.
I'll
go there.
I'm going to go with an oldie but a goodie. Mike Tirico and John Gruden on Monday Night Football.
I like that.
Gruden's Grinders.
Yes, that's a good one.
I'm going to go that one.
Okay, I'll go a little new school. Jim Nance, Tony Romo.
Oh, I fucking forgot. I just did.
I knew Petey would like that.
How
one.
did I
I knew Petey would like that one.
I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim.
Okay. My last one, I will go with. It's NFL broadcast. I would have done college football. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit are awesome.
Oh yeah.
I will go with. Ready? It's not the best. It's the worst, actually. So maybe this is the wrong draft.
What are you about to say?
Booger on Monday night was objectively hilarious.
That was pretty good.
You can't beat the Boogermobile.
I was going to say
the Boogermobile
was awesome.
If we did a draft of the worst ones, that'd be the number one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Boogermobile. It's that funny. It's that good.
I'll throw this one out there, and it's mainly for one person to wrap it up. Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olsen. I actually love Greg Olsen.
Oh, they've come along very nicely this year.
Yeah, I'm a big Greg Olsen fan.
Joshua, that is an awesome draft topic.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you,
Shout
Josh.
out to Josh.
All right, JD Shirk next
love
up.
this
I
one.
like it. $5 super chat. That's a dog bowl.
I love
Car manufacturers. All right.
I'll take it away.
Yeah, I've got my 1-1.
I got my 1-1. And I know Petey's going to get mad at me for saying
You're
this.
going to say like Honda or some bullshit.
Honda.
What's your 1-1?
Honda.
Oh, my God.
I'm not kidding. That's what I was thinking. Honda.
That was disgusting.
The Honda Civic, when I drove in high school, that has a soft place in my heart. I had like I don't even know. It was probably early, mid-2000s.
Are you ready to feel incredibly dumb?
Huh.
I'm not even going to hit the 1-1. I'm just going to go for a quick body blow here.
Okay.
Rolls Royce.
Okay, all right. That's fair. That's fair.
Rolls Royce is my dream car.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
Enjoy your Honda Civic. Your pussy mobile.
All right, well, fine. I'll go Ferrari.
Okay, enjoy your Honda next to your Ferrari in the garage. You want to go Ferrari? I will go with. I like Cadillacs.
Cadillacs are sweet.
I think Cadillacs are pretty cool.
Cadillacs are
I get made
sweet.
fun of. I get told they're an old person car. I like Caddies.
All right, my last one.
Your last one.
I want to make this good.
You can go Hyundai.
I'm gonna go Corvette.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go Corvette.
I'm gonna go Jeep. Right.
Jeep. That's a
if
good
your
one.
buddy drives a Jeep, you want him to pick you up. Jeeps are cool.
100%.
Yep. So next one here. Commanders news and rumors. Your best QB is Otto Graham. Clearly, you did not watch Jacoby Brissett play this year. Coming from a Carson Wentz-led team. Ready for this? How about this? Washington Commanders YouTube channel in the chat right now. Top 4 quarterbacks that would not get invited to their own team's party.
Here we go.
Number 1 is Carson Wentz.
Yes.
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 Now you pick one. We'll go back and forth.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. He's definitely gonna be like, guys, what we all doing tonight? Mr. Unlimited is hosting.
Nobody's
and they're
responded.
like, dude, no one tell him. Like, he's not on the group message.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I will go, if you go Russell Wilson, I'm gonna go Derek Carr.
That's a good one.
I think Carr gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. Nobody likes Carr in that.
Carr, like, I think he likes the Raiders a little bit too much. And everyone's like, dude, like, relax. It's okay. Like, we're the Raiders. We're not that good. Like, you're taking this too seriously.
I'll end it off. Kyler Murray. Nobody likes Kyler Murray. We're not going to throw
Yeah.
No.
That's fine.
No.
You ended it.
I ended it right there.
Tim
Nah.
Green next up on the show.
I do want to, before you go, I
Yeah.
do want to give a shout out to Tim Green. He did find out, and I'll actually, if I can find it right now, Petey, hold on.
The regular chat thing. What did you find out? Let me see.
Here it is. Petey, I'm going to throw it up on screen.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tim Green. I was going to throw this on the mailbag. Let's go. Everybody spam Tim in the comments.
Tim. Dog bowl for Tim. Dog bowl for Tim.
Let's go, Tim.
Let's go, Tim. I just learned at 60 years old how to hashtag
Go
go Browns.
Tim, that fired me up when I saw it. That fired me up.
Damn, I love it. Josh, that's a good one. We just got to give him super chatted. I know you've already done your heavy lifting for super chats today, but we just can't break the rules. It would be, all hell will break loose in the chat. Ryan Chowdhury, good to see Ryan. Back in the super chat column, Ryan. Famous NFL plays, preferably that had a nickname. So plays. I initially read this as players, but like plays. Okay.
I got the 1-1.
They had a nickname. I'm trying to think of okay.
There's only 2 I can think that have a nickname.
No, I can think of a couple. I can think of 2. One involves the Browns' biggest rival, so I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm going to take mine.
I know what yours is.
The Minneapolis Miracle. That is mine.
That's a good one. There was the one that took place 50 years ago the other day. But I will go with. I'm trying to think of one that have a nickname.
I know. It's a good question.
This one doesn't really have. See, I've got one that's not NFL, but Devin Hester opening kickoff of the Super Bowl.
One.
That's a pretty cool play, right? I was going to kick 6, but
Yeah.
it's Auburn, Alabama. Then I was like, oh, that NFL. So I'll go with that one.
Obviously, the one for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Richard Sherman's pass breakup on Michael Crabtree.
That's a pretty good one.
That doesn't have
Put
a
a
name.
sorry-ass receiver on me. Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
I love that play.
I've got a couple of one. I'm trying to think of a Browns one, but fortunately there's not a ton to pick from. I will go with, the Miami Miracle, right? When Gronk is chasing down.
Yes.
Was it Kenyon Drake? Who was the running back? I think it might have been Kenyon Drake.
I think it was Kenyon Drake.
Yeah. Yeah, they catch the drive. I know. I'm sorry. Daniel, I'm just thinking of the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
the Pittsburgh Steelers, Arizona Cardinals Super Bowl, back right end zone, the Santonio Holmes
that's a good
catch. That was a sweet one.
Yeah. Jay, hey, what's up, guys? It's Jay. Y'all remember me? Jay, is it Jarrett Roush? Or Jay Roush? Because I know Jarrett Roush, but hey, Jay Roush.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking the drive, there's the Immaculate Reception.
Yeah.
There's some older ones like that. But I'm just my brain is just thinking the last 15 years. 15, 20 years. And so, yeah. Tyree, David Tyree.
David Tyree helmet catch.
Yeah, the helmet catch. That's a great one too.
And that has a nickname.
Yeah, the helmet. Yeah, that was we butchered that draft. Ryan, I'm sorry. We dropped the ball on that one.
We did drop the ball.
Yep. Greg, Super Bowls. I like this one a lot.
I love it.
You want to go first or want to go second?
I'll go second.
Yep. You want to go second?
Yeah, you go 1-1.
I'll go 1-1. Super Bowls. I'm gonna go Patriots Seahawks. That's not a very good 1-1, but it's a very good Super Bowl.
That's a great Super Bowl.
I just don't know if it's a 1-1 though. But I'm gonna go Patriots Seahawks.
Yeah.
2014.
I'll go for me. And it's funny enough. This is when the Vikings lost in the NFC Championship a couple years ago. But I loved that Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl with the Eagles winning. I know it wasn't a crazy game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great game, but I loved that Super Bowl. Eagles over the Patriots.
Yep, that's a very good one. I will go with. I don't want to pick Patriots Super Bowls because I'm gonna skip the 28-3 one. Give me. I'm trying to think of fun Super Bowl comebacks and whatnot. I will say. I think you gotta go 2007 Giants, right?
Yeah.
Knocking off a perfect New England Patriots.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll go 2007 Giants.
Okay. Oh, I just saw it in the chat from Greasy. The Falcons 28-3 Patriots. I'm gonna have to go that one.
So Jay Roush, I'm looking in the chat. He was a part of the Perry Steakhouse night.
Really?
New name, he says now. Jay Roush. Roush. Nevertheless, good to see you back in the chat, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Which one did you just pick?
The 28-3.
28-3. That's a good one. I will go with. See, it's hard to pick Super Bowls that I didn't watch. I didn't watch anything in the 90s.
Yes.
I was born in 98, so that's not gonna really help.
Yeah.
So I will go with. Give me. Saints Colts.
That was a good one.
The onside kick to
Yeah.
start the second half.
That's a good one.
That was Drew Brees versus Peyton. Also, if you remember those, the Colts and the Saints that year were undefeated for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
They were both 13-0. I remember the Saints lost to the Bucks and the Colts lost to the Jets. They were the juggernauts. So we actually got to see the two best teams in football play in the Super Bowl: Drew Brees, Peyton Manning.
I got a good one.
Yeah.
The Harbaugh Bowl. Ravens-Niners.
Oh, that's a great one.
The blackout game,
Yeah,
too.
2012.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. I missed that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's throw the super chat menu on really quickly, by the way, before we get to Josh's super chat here. New York Jets, Baltimore Colts, 1969, Joe Namath, of course. Happy hour menu. We are $15 away from $100. Hey, $100 away. If we get to $15, some show shots.
Show shots?
Yeah, show shots. I've been doing all the
right.
heavy lifting in the fireball. We'll get Patrick involved too. If someone sends in a $15 super chat, we'll throw back some fireball shots, and you'll be the one that got this stream over $100 in super chats.
Sir.
Now we got one more draft it looks like to get through, and we got some other super chats coming in from Soul Train. Oh, Greg! Right on the money! Yes!
Greg!
Let's go! Let's go, Greg! Greg! I love it, Greg. I love it.
Let's go, Greg.
Jim, remember to hit the like button, folks. Hit that thumbs up icon. Indeed, you shall.
That's your shot glass right there.
That's my
correct?
shot glass. You go in and get your own. I'll be right back. Yeah, Patrick's going to go get his own shot glass. $15 super from Greg. Well, I did the math wrong. We're 9 cents away from 100, but we round up here the channel, so it counts anyway. Oh, of course not. Now we just need a $1 super chat to actually get us technically over 100, because I thought we're 9 cents away. Bad math on my part, but Greg, it still counts. LFG from Soul Train. Joe, hey, Greasy. Do you guys like someone who watches every single week? So like Brown Tiger, Ryan, Josh, Greasy Flight, Soul Train. Do you like the ending of the show where we kind of go off the beaten path of just talking Brownies, or would you prefer if we stuck to the Cleveland Browns and didn't kind of get off subject? I am curious because ultimately we do the show for you guys. So let me know what you think is a better sort of send off for the show. Let me know in the comment section. I always love feedback and what we can do better here. Ryan, yeah, but it gets wild. I love it. Talk about whatever. Appreciate you, Soul Train. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, we got your shot glass here?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Let's get a cheers here to...
We haven't cheersed yet today.
We have not cheers yet. We have to cheers to... Ready? I got a good one. Oh, here we go. Boom.
Hey.
Sean McKenzie, where the hell did you hear Newsome for Judy? Jack Duffin on Twitter was talking about maybe making a player swap there with Newsome not fitting in at slot corner, which I think we can all agree with. And then, well, you like Denzel Ward and you like Martin Emerson on the outside, so maybe try and flip Newsome to get a draft pick, or what he suggested, Jerry Jeudy. All right, here we go. $15 super chat from Greg, and then this $5 super chat. Let's get that across here. As someone who only watches your Sunday shows, I like this. Yeah, Greg, you're right. I kind of just merged my Sunday and my Thursday shows together, but Thursday's pretty fun too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Thursday's really where the OGs are at for the channel.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Let's cheers to New Year's Eve being the most overrated holiday.
I love that.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Cheers. Cannonball coming.
And then Jay Roush, he said, hey, Patrick, how about your Vikings, bro? How about them, Jay? Whew. How about them Vikings?
That almost came upstairs, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, no.
Little Beam, Browns, choose 3 players the Browns should draft and their positions. I originally talked about Kayshon Boutte, whatever his name is.
Boutte, the receiver.
I like Booty more. It's way cooler.
Yes.
It's like Tyrod Taylor. Like, no, it's Tyrod.
Yeah, totally agree.
So, with Kayshon Boutte, if he were to fall to Cleveland in the second round, right, because you got a lot of first-round talent, and Boutte has kind of fallen off the ranks a little bit.
Uh-huh.
He was the number 1 receiver going into this draft class before college football season started this year. Now you've got like the Jackson Smith and Jigbas, the Jalen Hyatts, the Cedric Tillmans, the Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston kind of rising up a little bit here. Boutte. Yeah. Kayshon B. If he falls to Cleveland in round 2, that's just a very good value pick of like, it might not feel like you need a wide receiver right now, but I don't think Amari Cooper is going to be your wide receiver 1 for the next 5 years. Whereas Boutte could, sit behind for a year and then take over after that. So just some food for thought right there.
Petey, I say we bring in a special guest.
Let's bring on Coop
For this little next round of drafting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Let's do it.
Drafts.
We're doing drafts.
Okay.
You want to come on screen?
Yeah.
Right. So my good friend, producer Jeffrey Cooperstein, coming on screen here.
Up?
And you want me and Coop to grab? Here. Me and Coop will draft this round.
You got it.
Yeah. We just need a mic, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Coop,
Okay.
you come on. You go on
Yeah,
the side of me. Okay. So we're doing drafting of best late night crap food.
Okay.
We go back and forth. We were supposed to do snake, and then we completely forgot today. So no
Okay.
snake anymore.
No snake.
4 rounds for this one here.
4?
You
All
want the 1-1, or you want to go second?
I'll go first.
Okay. It better be good, because if it's
Are we
wrong, I'm going to
naming
ridicule you.
restaurants or food?
Restaurants.
Okay.
Chain restaurants.
Whataburger.
That's a very Texas thing. So Whataburger is like the Texas late night go-to spot. You're talking to an audience predominantly in Ohio.
Sure.
So just kind of keep that for
No,
there.
I know.
But if you've ever had, I'm not even on screen anymore. If you've ever had Whataburger before, it is very good. The honey butter chicken biscuit is undefeated.
Can't beat it.
Yep. I will go. Shaylin says Coop. So
What's up, Shaylin?
I will go with, ready? Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's is
That's
refreshing.
okay.
It is
It's okay.
awesome to have. It is the best, hits the spot right before you go to bed. There was a Jimmy John's right across the street from my college dorm. I'd stop there at 2:30 on the way home on Fridays and Saturdays and would wake up to a Jimmy John's wrapper and couldn't be happier.
I don't even like this, but I know it appeases the masses. Taco Bell.
I would see that's the pander pick.
Yeah.
That's the pander pick.
It's pandering.
Yep, it
I
is.
don't like Taco Bell.
I like Taco Bell, not drunk food.
I agree.
Yeah.
But that's what people would think.
Yep, I agree with that thought right there. So then if you go TB, I'm going to go, I don't want to go the McDanks route.
That's what I was thinking, too.
It's a little, too cliche. How about some late night za? Just pizza.
Okay, so I was going to go pizza, but
I did make the
you
rules.
You kind of cheated there.
Okay, so then I guess it's
Domino's?
Your late night pizza
Yeah.
spot. Whatever that is for you. Right? If it's
move.
Domino's, if it's a Papa John's, if it's a Pizza Hut, whatever it is in your town or whatever, that's what I'm going with.
Ooh, okay. We're kind of running out of options here.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're getting a lot of Longhorns chat right now in here. Arch Manning
Ooh,
or
yes.
Quinn Ewers?
Quinn Ewers.
Me and Coop fight about this.
Quinn Ewers next year.
No less than every day.
Big game tonight. Wow, this is tough.
Yeah.
This would be good. I've never had it, but I'm willing to try it. Maybe a little greasy Chinese food.
Oh, okay.
You go to New
A
York.
little Dragon in North action. Okay.
You get that hole in the wall where
Yes.
it looks like there are rats in the back.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah.
And what's very key is the menu cannot be in English.
No,
You
absolutely
have to
not.
order by
Yep,
number.
no doubt.
I want K3.
Yep.
That is how you
That's
know
all-
it's good Chinese.
no doubt.
Yep. The less English for my waitress, the better when it comes to Chinese. I'm being honest here. Sub for Dubs time, man. I love it. I'm going to round out McDonald's. You know what I mean?
It's classic.
Scenario, right? You're going home from the bar, your friend picks you up, and they go, hey, you want to stop at the McDonald's drive-thru?
Classic.
Oh,
Every
baby.
time.
That's going to be a resounding yes from the audience.
I think my last pick is going to be Jack in the Box.
Oh,
Hear me out.
disgusting.
Jack in the Box is bad, but if you're ever drunk, you have Jack in the Box tacos and their curly fries. It can do a job.
You're not helping.
It can do a job.
You are not helping.
It can do a job.
This is the best thing that ever happened to Patrick because I usually kick his ass in drafts.
It can do
But
a job.
you ruined this one at the end here. Okay. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yes. And welcome to the draft club.
Careful.
Uh-oh. We get to the cross up. There it is. We nearly had Coop fall over the edge. Ryan Arch Manning will be better. Watch. Lincoln, Nebraska, Ramos Pizza. Arby's chicken strips.
And Mott sticks.
Oh, I don't. Sonic isn't bad.
They're not open late.
They're not open late. You're right. They're not open late. Shout out your favorite best late night crap food spot. Josh, this was an excellent. Josh is killing it today.
He
With
is.
the broadcast duo and late night food,
Yes.
Josh is winning the drafts today.
Shout out
No
to Josh.
Duck Stefanski, Landon, I'm reading yours. Unless I skipped it already. My 6-year-old loves when you say cannonball coming. Soul Train, is breakout Watson game needed to attract free agents? Let's be honest. Cleveland has never been a free agent hub. It's unfortunate, but that is just the truth of the matter, right?
Yeah.
You're going to hear some people say that's not the case. Look at Deshaun Watson. Yeah. But it's not Dallas. It's not Miami. It's not New York.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete with those. So, yeah, Watson needs to play at a level where if they have 2 offers coming in, and one's from the Browns and one's from the Cowboys, Deshaun Watson might look a little bit better than Dak Prescott. So I absolutely think Watson needs to end the year on a high note. So it's, look at the Browns. They ended the year on a 2-game winning streak, and Deshaun Watson threw 6 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. They're going to be rocking and rolling next year.
Hey, people aren't coming to Buffalo. They'll live in Buffalo. They're coming to play with Josh Allen.
Yep, exactly.
So-
And the wings.
And the Wings.
Wings would have been good. Late night pizza. B-dubs, that's what I'm talking about.
Betos would have been a good one.
Are we out of Super Chats right now?
Yeah, we're all caught up.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's do this one. And if we don't get another Super Chat by the time we run through this draft, we will have to sign off here. We're at $105 in super, so thank you to everyone who has super chatted thus far. If you like the free content, you like throwing back some drinks with us, super chats go a long way to make that happen.
Yes, sir. So football matchups, PD. What do you explain?
Football matchups is really just rivalries in the in the NFL.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Love
It's
it.
like it can just be like
Player,
it doesn't have to
team.
be. It doesn't have to be like Brown Steelers. It can be the Seahawks and the 49ers from 2011 with the Legion of Boom. Like that specific era of a matchup.
Love it.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have to just be two teams all time. It can be during a specific time period.
Okay.
You got
All
that?
Yeah.
Like Cowboys Niners nowadays doesn't really feel that much.
Yes.
Back in the day, that was the
it.
shit.
Yes.
Football matchups. Soul Train with a $2 super chat. Josh, we'll see you Sunday, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Soul Train will hit your super chat in a
Josh.
second. Let's get Soul Train super chat on, and we'll start our draft here. Junk food is great after vitamin THC.
Same with most of life.
Yeah, I knew that's much more of Seach's alley than mine. All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Soul Train, thank you for the super chat.
All right.
Football
1-1.
matchups. With 1-1?
Yeah, give me the 1-1.
Go.
Odell Beckham Jr. versus Josh Norman.
Oh,
Back in New York.
Oh, wow. You went for a specific player matchup.
Boom!
Okay.
Who's not good at drafting now, Petey?
You missed the 1-1.
That was pretty bad.
You missed it. Mahomes Allen.
All right. No. I don't think that's a clear 1-1.
I don't know, Jim.
That's some
I don't
recency
know, Jim.
bias. That's some recency bias, but I love the pick.
I'm going to go Mahomes Allen.
All right, that's a good one. All right, Mahomes Allen.
Yeah, you can go teams too.
I guess I'll go Packers Bears.
That's a good one.
Just because of
the
the
longest
history,
rivalry, yeah.
like more totality type of rivalry.
Right,
but
I like that
I
pick.
love that. Anytime, even when the Bears are awful, that game is still very entertaining.
Yep, I agree with that. I agree with that thought. I will go with. I'm gonna go with. Give me. I will go with. Trying to balance teams and players. I'll go with a simple team one here. How about? I loved Niners versus Legion of Boom.
That was a sweet one.
That was a fun one, right? Kaepernick
yep.
versus the Legion of Boom.
That was awesome.
Right. Crabtree versus Richard Sherman.
I love that one.
Yeah, I'll go that one.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Trying to think. Trying to go a little more nowadays, like in the NFL. You already said Allen Mahomes. It's probably the top one. Definitely the top one. Nowadays, NFL. That's a good one, Raymond Garcia, the Raiders, Patriots.
Yep, that's a very good one.
I will go. I'm blanking on one right now.
Oh, I've got a good one.
Okay, if I don't say it in 5 seconds, you go.
I've got a great one.
I'm gonna give a little pander pick.
Okay.
Myles Garrett versus Joe Burrow.
Like it.
A little pander to the
A little bit
to
of
the
pain
chat.
to the audience.
To the chat.
Miles has pretty much been his daddy.
Exactly. A
Yeah,
little father-son
I like that.
relationship.
I like that.
All right,
I
who
will
is
go.
yours?
Ready? This is specifically from the years of 2003
Okay.
to 2015.
Okay.
Brady Manning. You know what I mean? Before Brady really pulled away at the end,
How did I know?
Brady Manning, when it was Brady had
Yes.
just one more Super Bowl, but
Yes.
Manning was the regular season king.
Yes.
Brady Manning.
That's a great one.
Now it's Brady's the GOAT.
Yes.
But back
still,
then,
that
was sports talk radio.
that
It was
it.
what are we talking about? I don't know. Should we go back to Brady Manning?
I like
Lock
that.
it in.
I like that.
Yeah.
Trying to see if anything from the chat can inspire me right now. I'm kind of blanking on
Yeah.
rivalries.
Mahomes versus Burrow might develop into a good one.
That might.
The Chiefs are.
Could that be better than
Oh, I don't think so.
Mahomes
I don't
Allen?
think so.
That is true because Burrow does own Mahomes.
Yeah.
Burrow owns Mahomes.
I like David's. Go with David's. David's is funny.
Saints versus the refs.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is.
I was thinking of something. I was like, who versus the refs? Like the Raiders, they always
No,
bitch
it's
about the refs.
Definitely the Saints.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just go for me. My favorite rivalry has been Vikings-Saints. I mean, I absolutely hate the Saints. Going back from the 2009 NFC Championship game where they tried to kill Brett Favre, the Minneapolis Miracle, I'll go there.
I'm going to go with a fun one here. Andre Johnson versus Cortland Finnegan.
That's a freaking great one. See, those are the ones I've been trying to think about. God, that's a great one. The greatest fight in NFL history.
That was a fucking awesome fight. Pardon my French.
Oh, I'll go D-Hop, D'Angelo Hall. Remember it was the Hard Knocks clip when they were talking at practice? It was at a joint practice. And he broke his ankles, and then a huge fight broke out.
Yes. I do remember the text on Hard Knocks because I remember watching D-Hop go shopping.
Yes, yes.
I'm in the mall with D-Hop right now.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Ryan. Oh, Ryan's giving me. Oh, my goodness. Ryan just won the draft. Ryan Chowdhury just won the draft. The Bills against the Super Bowl.
Yep.
0-4.
You want to?
There's another 0-4 team. Who is it?
All right, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
We'll catch you.
Vikings 0-4 in the Super Bowl as well. Ryan, that's a great one.
That's a good one.
All right,
Ryan.
we're going to put the Bucky keeps wanting a cannonball. We're at $108. If we get to 120, show shots. But I will have to put the shot clock on here because I know that there are some other channels that need to get into the studio space and whatnot. I don't think it's Steelers talk today because Jack is off. I believe it is Tyler with the Ravens rundown.
It is.
Yeah.
You get the Ravens trying to come in.
The Ravens trying to come in. So the shot clock is on. If we get to 90 seconds and we don't get a super chat, we got to bounce here. Bo Jackson buried the Boz. Sometimes I struggle reading. Buried the Boz. I don't know what that is. Evans and Lattimore is a great rivalry.
A good one.
That's more of your modern Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan.
Yeah.
I agree with that thought too.
Jalen Ramsey, Josh Allen, when they had their little beef when Allen was coming out.
Do you remember when Jalen Ramsey made his list of quarterbacks? Remember when Jalen Ramsey put out a list of here are the good, and Josh, he said Josh Allen was bad.
Yes.
And that gave Allen a lot of fuel.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Evans Lattimore, that's a great one.
Yep, that's a very good one. Listen, if we don't get another super chat in, no worries, no harm, no foul. I appreciate everyone that has super chatted so far today. This is just my favorite part of the entire week, hanging out with the Dog Pound, talking shop with you, hanging out, talking football. We're going to have a watch party, of course, as we always do every Sunday, every game day for the Browns Commanders. So if you've never tuned into one before, make sure you tune in this Sunday. Guaranteed to be a good time. But I'm going to go on an assumption here and say everyone that's watching right now, oh, Lil Bean, that's a funny one.
That is a great one.
Yeah. I didn't think of it. You said it, not me.
I should have said that. That's a great one.
I didn't even think of that one.
I still remember, I have a great story for that real quick. Before we get on out of here, I was actually at a bar for a Thirsty Thursday, and I remember the bar was packed, and then everybody just went silent. Everybody looks at the TV because everybody's freaking out, like, oh shit, Myles Garrett just swung his helmet. I remember it was this huge deal at the bar. I'll never forget that moment.
Yep.
Awesome.
That happened. All right. If we don't get another super chat, I don't know, really when I finish talking, then we will have to sign off. Nevertheless, though, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's live show. Hope you enjoyed the content. For producer Patrick Seatman and myself, we will sign off. We will be back on Sunday, and Patrick's with me too.
I am with Petey.
That is going to be fun. I'm not a one-man band, so Patrick will be with us. Browns, commies. We gotta, get the Red Scare out of DC.
Yeah.
So we gotta save our nation's capital, one Cleveland Browns touchdown at a time. Thank you all so much, and go Browns, and I'll see you guys.